motorsport and motoring radio show, now on 88.5 FM, The Valley Comes Alive, and podcasting across iTunes and talkandpower.com.au.
And welcome back to Talk and Power podcast, episode number 225. I am Michelle Morrison, and joining me are my co-hosts Simon Gonzo Trepolini and Nick DeCimbre.
How are you, Michelle?
Doing well.
That's good.
Feeling fresh.
I'm living the dream. Living the dream.
As always. Well, just to kick it off with some news, the NASCAR Final Series playoff from Phoenix has been run and won. In the Truck Series, we saw a late four-tyre change for Corey Heim, payoff taking the win and the championship in his Toyota Tundra from Ford's Ty Majeski. In the Xfinity race, we saw two-race winner Jesse Love in his Chev Camaro take to the championship from 10-race winner Connor Zilic. Not to be outdone, we witnessed Kyle Larson win his second NASCAR Cup championship when he finished third at Phoenix.
Woo!
Sadly,
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Sadly, the bridesmaid in Denny Hamlin would have to settle for second place again when he finished sixth. MotoGP results from Malaysia. It was a Spanish lockout on the podium in Malaysia, with Alex Marquez winning, Pedro Acosta coming in second, and Jan Mir in third. We had three different manufacturers on the podium in Ducati, KTM and Honda in that order. Speaking of three different manufacturers, we had McLaren, Ferrari and Red Bull on the podium in Mexico for the Formula One, with Lando Norris taking the win, Charles Leclerc in second and Max Verstappen in third place. Supercars on the Gold Coast saw the elimination of three drivers, Brody Kostecki, Ryan Wood and Anton De Pasquale. Progressing onto the Sandown 500, still in contention is Brock Feeney, Chaz Mostert, Matt Payne and Cam Waters, Will Brown and Kai Allen. Chaz Mostert and Brock Feeney were the winners of the weekend. Sandown 500 will take place on Sunday the 15th of November 2025. Department of Transport news. All individuals applying for a WA licence using an overseas licence will be treated consistently regardless of their country of origin. Drivers from countries previously included in the EDR category, such as the UK, France, Germany, Japan, Singapore and the US, are no longer automatically exempt from the standard conversion process. All applicants must now provide proof of identity and residency in WA, pass a practical driving assessment or hazard perception test, and a computerised theory test, depending on the specifics of their licence and experience, meet medical and eye health standards. The Department of Transport removed the EDR status to ensure all new WA drivers meet the same safety standards and have current knowledge of local road rules, promoting fairness across all applicants.
Do you think the podcast had something to do with...
I
like to think
they
so.
have been listening in.
But I saw that. You know what prompted me to look? I was at Department of Transport the other day and I could see a heap of people doing the eye test. And I thought, well, that's kind of unusual. And they were of foreign status, without being racist. That's what they were. And I looked into it and then I found this from the Department of Transport. So
Yeah.
Do you guys know about the new Facebook campaign?
yes, I saw that as well. Your wife actually shared that with us today as well. Yes, I saw that.
I think that they're still missing the point. Education is what you need. And that is, there is no discussion about education in any of that documentation.
Yeah, and look, I guess with our digital technologies come a long way, but when it says pass a practical driving assessment or a hazard perception test, when I did the hazard perception test, as much as that might have been nearly 20 years ago, oh God. It's
10
pretty...
years ago. 10 years ago.
37 for him.
Well, I mean, did you have one then? Did they have
There
computers
was
then?
it was DOS.
No,
No,
but it's kind of like a bit of a game of Frogger. You
used to stand up and have to take this verbal test, and there was a written test.
Yeah.
But the difference between back then and now is there was a handful of instructors for the whole of Perth. And all of those instructors knew the people at licensing. They were on a first-name basis, and the licensing people would ask him, is this guy ready yet or not?
Yeah.
Right? And if he said no, you weren't getting your license. Forget it. You could have 10 out of 10.
And that's right. And I think, I'm not sure whether we spoke about it on air or whether it was off air, that I spoke about my cousin's experiences in South Australia, and where it was actually a driving instructor that they would be marking off and doing hours with, that would then say, okay, now you are ready to drive. It wouldn't just be a test with instructor, I guess, I'm trying to say my mind's going to facilitator from the uni, but like an instructor that's doing the test with you then and there that you've just met for the first time. It would be someone that you would have had many lessons with, that would be familiar with you driving in all different conditions of weather and times of the day. And I feel as if they've got more... They know you better than someone who's just been in the car with you for 20 minutes.
Yeah, but I mean, in defence of the system, I think that you need to be able to drive regardless of who's in the car. It's probably better that it's someone that doesn't know you, that you're scared of, that you're nervous around, because that'll put you in extreme. But nonetheless, I will say one thing. I will give DOT and everyone this little bit of wiggle room. The roads now, compared to when I got my licence and when Nick got his licence, there are so many more cars on the road.
Yeah, yeah.
And the thing that I kept on seeing on this Facebook thing was people talking about, we need to stop them from driving V8s and it's like, the EVs are faster than the old school V8s, and you can buy a four-cylinder turbo that is faster than, like an XD or something like that. So I don't know that limiting the power, because ultimately the speed limit is the speed limit, right? The argument is, they can get into more trouble quicker. Well, yeah, but, it doesn't, like, you can do that in anything.
Yeah.
I still believe that education, and everyone seems to not say that. I didn't read a single comment that said you should be spending more time educating them, and that should be part of the government's job, part of the police force's job.
Yeah. Do you know what I think also? And I don't think I'm undercovering any, dark secrets here. I think we're all aware that there are some licence centres or some suburbs that are easier to pass your
Allegedly.
Yeah, but WA is a big state. That I actually think that your when you go for your test, it should be like a catchment area that you'd have to live within the proximity of where you're actually doing your test for.
The thing with that, Michelle, and I can tell you from experience that I've heard those stories, allegedly, right? But if you live, somewhere that's very busy, then it's very difficult to get in.
Yeah.
And that's why some people will go to another area.
Yeah.
But I don't know that it's like that anymore, because a lot of my friends got their licenses in the country. Now, sometimes that works for you, sometimes that works against you, because if you show up and the local copper doesn't know you, he's going to go, who's this bloke? Right?
Yeah.
Whereas if
almost know that you're there for that reason.
Whereas if your uncle owns the farm and you've been out shooting with the local copper,
they've already seen you driving around in your own private property. Yeah.
It's sort of like, here's your license here.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's like that anymore.
I don't think so. But I know that there's sometimes people, young kids who are eager to get their license, try like the suburbs and the licensing centres that are quite a fair way out of town. I don't think it's to avail, to be honest with you, because as you said, they don't have local knowledge of those roads. Most if you're having lessons with an instructor, that instructor will show you where the test will take you.
They used to. I don't know if you can do that anymore, but that's what they used to do. They used to go, listen, Bill's going to take you down here and he's going to make you reverse park into there, and but
they're not too far off.
It's a step in the right direction anyway, and So I
But
suppose we were just...
You know what I have noticed a lot of that is, to me, it's a little bit disturbing, a little bit worrying. I see a lot of young kids, P-platers, that are in very, very expensive European high-powered vehicles that, you know, you've got to sort of go, you know, maybe mum and dad should have had a bit of a think about that before they stuck a 17-year-old in an AMG or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if that kid doesn't really, and this is where education is important, this is where, you know, the road show would show you images that were burnt into your mind, regardless of whether people think we shouldn't be showing them that stuff. And they got to understand that that's what can happen, because you get an AMG 63, you can go 300 kilometres an hour in that car.
Yeah, and I think
You know
for
what I mean?
any new P-plater, you know, regardless of what car they have, they do want to show off to their mates.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Of course
and
they do.
so, you know, but I mean, I had a Toyota Hilux. It was like a 1995 Toyota Hilux was my first car. But none of myself, my sisters, none of us had nice cars to start with, and you've got that limitation on there. If you've got this high-powered, brand new, really nice car, that would probably be on many of our bucket lists still now.
And if you hang around with a group of people
And then
where
you're all-
everyone's got one,
It's even worse.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You can see
Fuel
what's
to the
going to
fire.
happen. Yeah, you're gonna get these young kids doing 200 kilometres an hour down the freeway.
Yeah.
And that's where they're going to come unstuck, because, you know, our roads are not designed, they're not autobahns.
Yeah.
They are not designed to do 200 kilometres an hour on. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't teach them how to drive. We don't teach them you know, we tell them the perception that you need a 60 or 100 kilometres an hour, but you know from driving your car, and I know from driving mine, you got to be looking down there. You know what I mean? Because you're going to get there like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just the car in front of you whose tail lights you want to be looking at, because they might be late to react to the ones in front. You know, admittedly, guys, I don't watch much satellite TV these days, and so I'm not sure what ads are frequently playing that have any of this awareness for. But there was a fantastic ad when I was growing up for awareness, showing the difference that like an extra 10 k's of speed, how much extra damage that would take on your car. But then I've seen one more recently showing, and it was for utes or like American trucks, because I'm quite sure it was American ad, and showing their impact and how much the truck would be damaged from different speeds. And yeah, it's pretty confronting to see, but it sends the message, doesn't it?
Yeah, but the thing is, Michelle, they are talking about 10, 20 kilometres an hour. They need to show these kids what happens when you do 100 kilometres an hour over the speed limit.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you're probably not going to be... You're definitely not going to be walking away from it. You might be cut out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
They might find you in the glove box.
You know what I saw them do in Italy when I was over there on the autostradas? If there is a hazard up ahead, or they can see traffic slowing...
The hazard lights.
Yeah.
So this is a standard thing in Europe. You see something, you turn yours on. The car behind sees yours on, they turn theirs on.
That's fantastic.
This message goes back at least a kilometre, 2 kilometres back.
Yeah, at least.
You're not braking.
Wow.
You're not braking, but your hazard lights are on. So everyone's turning on their hazard lights, and this is going back a kilometre, 2 kilometres.
And then when you go past it, you turn your hazard lights off.
That should just be a global thing. That sounds fabulous.
No, what we do
I've started doing it here.
What we do in Perth is we slow down.
Slow right down.
100 kilometre an hour limit, we slow down to 40, and we look.
Yeah.
And then we run into the car in front that's done the same,
Try and
but
take
he's
a photo
doing
if you drive
20.
past.
I've started doing it. I've started doing it. So if I'm seeing something up ahead, I've got the hazard lights
You
on.
slow down and turn your head.
But I'm putting the hazard lights on, and I'm hoping the guy behind me, no one does it. Hasn't caught on yet.
I actually use the Waze app. Do you guys use the Waze app?
I've got it on my phone.
WAZE.
No, I've got
That
it there,
shows hazards. You can.
Oh, it's not just for booze buses. And...
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to say that's the reason I said that's not the reason I speed. No, I use it for the hazards and the potholes. So, but you can.
It's got potholes on it.
Yeah,
legit.
Yeah, it won't say it in your like looking forward ahead every pothole.
Yep.
But once you're following the GPS map, it will come up with a little sign if there's a pothole.
Because if I hit a pothole in that little combo, I end up in it.
Yeah.
I have to turn my headlights on and
water.
Could you imagine like the companies like Mr. Pothole? I mean, I used to live around the Vic Park area, and there was a company, Mr. Pothole.
Yeah,
You'd just be like scanning that map all the time, trying to find your next jobs.
Yeah, except you got to
Google
get
Maps has got that now, but I don't think everyone's utilising it.
Yeah. Well, with Waze, you can even if you're driving down, you know, I mean, it doesn't have to be a freeway. It can just be one of your suburban roads, and say like a tarp's come off the back of a car in front of you, or someone's dropped something off the back of their car. You can then put that there's debris on the road.
Oh, yeah.
You then go, okay, notice the debris on the road, and then it will come up on mine if I'm travelling the same. Look out ahead at 500 metres. There's debris on the road, but it will say the hazards. But you can also, once you put in your destination of where you're going, it will give you 2 or 3 alternative routes to take, and it will have on their time estimations. If there's traffic in there, that's all factored in. If the hazards are in there, it's great. We were travelling down to the Motorplex once. It wasn't a drag racing event. I'm quite sure it was Speedway. No, actually we were going to the gate after a drag racing event the next day, and there was an accident on the freeway, and they'd closed the freeway, and you've only got 2 bridge options to get back on and over to the other side if you can't take the freeway down to Coburn. And so being able to be aware of what's happening with those, but getting those hazard alerts so you can kind of be on the lookout, okay, something's happening up here.
Make sure you send an invoice to Waze.
Yeah. They're getting a big plug on this.
Speaking of which, when I'm listening to podcasts, I always hear this ad for Shopify.
Yeah.
And at the end, she says for entrepreneurs.
And
every time I hear it, I think of Panurge. You remember Panurge?
I do remember Panurge.
Every time. Because she said, I don't know if I'm hearing it wrong. I am hard of hearing, but it sounds like she says, this is for entrepreneurs.
Well, now that I've already pronounced all my European names for the MotoGP, then I still don't think I'm in a safe space to be able to comment on pronunciation.
I think you did an exceptional job.
Well, thank you. Me and my ochre Australian accent. But anyway, the Department of Transport, they are at least giving our roads some focus, and so let's just see we keep on seeing it improved.
I think Rogers is got to dig himself out of the $100 million hole of taxpayers not going to the NRL money.
Yeah. And best of luck to that.
So you're off to race over East soon, yeah?
Yes, we take off on Thursday. I don't entirely trust the airlines to be flying out on a Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Just been seeing it happen too many times with flights getting... I mean, realistically, my flight home got cancelled last time, so I don't think...
So this is why they didn't allow Qatar to set up here, because we've got such reliable...
Now you're getting me speaking all serious, and these flights cost us over double what we paid in August.
Really?
Yeah, we got our return flights for $650 each, and keeping in mind for both events we had less than 2 months' notice, so it's not like we booked them earlier.
No.
We had return flights for $650. We did fly with Jetstar, but my dad flew with Virgin. Trevor was with Qantas. It was all around that $650 mark.
Trevor's my kind of guy.
Qantas. Just true and true. Qantas, just true and true.
I hate fly.
That Jetstar aside.
I can't go on Virgin. I'm pretty sure they charge you for the air when you go on Virgin.
Virgin's not bad, actually. I've been to Virgin
Is the
a
air
few
free
times.
yet?
Well,
Yeah, that's all right. It's okay.
I tell you, even, usually Jetstar is the more budget-friendly one. They've got their higher tier that they can charge with Qantas. We are flying with Virgin, but even with Jetstar, $1,500.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Yep.
$1,500.
Yep.
Why?
And that is...
It's cheaper to go to Bali.
And that is light. That is with the... That's the...
What, is it just because it's close to Christmas?
Trent will hate me. I think being that Trent will hate me, I better finish that sentence. Trent will hate me if I say... Trent is so superstitious. But if anyone's seen the weather forecast for the Sydney on the weekend...
No, I haven't. I've looked at it locally.
If I have to change anything about my flights, then it will be another hole in the wallet because...
You haven't looked at the weather, have you?
Oh, yeah.
You
well,
have?
it was more... It was. I looked at it... I looked at it 2 weeks when the long-range forecast came out, and then my mum called me. My mum called me yesterday, and she's like, "Have you seen the weather forecast for Sydney?"
Oh, no, that's all right.
Listen, 35%.
It's all right, but you know what worried me was because about 2 weeks ago there was the big storms in Brisbane and in Melbourne, so just closing in on Sydney.
35% for Sydney. Right,
Yeah.
that's a sunny day.
Yeah, you'll be right. No, that's good. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I did speak to, they've had some rain. They had their Sydney Dragway had their event on last Wednesday cancelled because of the rain. Their event on Friday was cancelled because of the rain. But I did speak to Mark from Motorsport Connections this morning, and he said that it was actually a hot and sunny day today. So, you know what? The flight's booked. They're paid for.
Don't worry, Michelle.
I
Trent's already got
don't
the
have any
tune-up locked in.
cancellation options. The car's already there. I should go and just check on her anyway, give her a polish and make sure there's no problems.
Worst
No,
case
that-
scenario, you
that's
can have
weathers.
a weekend with your husband.
And with my father-in-law in just keeping us company.
you're not in
and-
the same room.
Oh, yeah.
You are.
Yes. Yes, which I will share more. I will share more afterwards about more of. I will share more afterwards about how we are living it up in Sydney, but
This is going to
There will-
involve sleeping bags. I've done this before.
it will involve sleeping bags. And no, you know what? Oh, yeah. Just to be safe, I better wait until once I come back, and then I'll share the stories. Otherwise, there'll be people knocking on the door while I'm bloody trying to sleep. I can guarantee.
Looking forward to our next recording.
Yeah. And but yeah, it will be a better story once it's done. So I'll leave it to the next recording.
What,
I
Nick,
am curious.
what have you been up to, Nick?
We've just been busy with work, to be honest. I couldn't record last week because I was away, and I was back by Monday. But yeah, we're busy with work, and that's about it really at the moment. With the Brunswick show of all things.
Oh, yeah, excellent.
It's an awesome show. Loved it.
Yeah.
Big crowd
Fabulous.
down there. Yeah. Yep. So it was well supported by the local Brunswick people and surrounding areas, Harvey and Bunbury as well, all got behind it. Did the parade?
Did they have it down? Did they have it at the horse track or at the?
No, at the footy oval.
At the footy oval.
Yeah, the footy oval. We
Yep.
did the parade as well. So I jumped in the tractor and did the parade and beat the horn for
Yeah,
the kids.
cool.
It was fun. Sweet.
Cool.
Loved it. How about yourself?
I went to roll racing on Saturday.
Oh, did ya?
Oh.
Yeah. I keep hearing about how big an event it
This
is.
is at Carco.
Carco,
Yep.
correct, yes. There was a lot of cars there, but I think that people saying that it's bigger than the drags.
Was this
Obviously
the
haven't
event
been
that
to
we
the
had?
drags.
Was this the event that we had Liz John reach out to us
No.
to ask about? No, not
No,
that one.
no.
I know that one was a bit earlier, but not sure if it was part of the same series or.
No, Liz was talking about the 8 Mile drag racing.
Oh,
but
okay.
Yeah, roll racing.
Yeah,
So roll racing.
So they come round the corner. Mm-hmm. I think they're supposed to be between 40 and 50 kilometres an hour. Mm-hmm. And there's a pace setter. And then they're supposed to go, just before where the light is together. Then the light goes green and there's 200 metres.
Yeah.
And then there's a finish line. They apparently have a two-wheel drive class and an all-wheel drive class. But yeah, to say that it's as... I mean, I don't want to... You know, it's a great event. Mm-hmm. A lot of people having a lot of fun. It really is if you own a car. It's good for the spectators, and it's also good for the people that are down there with their cars. But to try and draw comparisons to, you know, a typical Saturday meeting at the drags... I mean, obviously the ones that think that that's a big crowd down there have never been to the drags.
So those comments you've heard about, have they ran this regularly at Carco? Are those comments about for Perth? Because when we were in Sydney for the state round on the 15th of August, around that time, there was a roll racing event at the Eastern Creek Sydney Circuit Dragway.
Yep.
And if anyone's been there, seen it, it's got a humongous car park, and then there's even more so that you enter in through the actual drag racing entry road as well. But the car park was overflowed, and there was cars all parking on this road near that hotel and everything. It was huge,
so
absolutely
this
massive.
was the same. Like, you know, the grassed area that you can see from the fence. You know, at Carco, the grassed area there, you know where that is, yep. So there were cars parked there. The internal bit where the grass is, where the pits is, there were cars parked there. And then there was the cars competing that were in the garages and on the track. Mm-hmm. And then the car park outside of Carco, you know, the gravel from when you go in, that was all full. So when I got there, I was like, there must be
a lot of people then.
There must be lots of people here, but I don't know where they were because they, you know, in the spectators, that bit of concrete where you sit, there was heaps of room there, and then the landing, that you could still go up there and still see the track. You know, so yeah, I think. You know, I don't know whether they all come down individually or... Because, you know, even today I was talking about it going, I don't understand. There was so many cars there, but I didn't see the people. Now...
open pits? Like, how does that kind of work? Can you wander through there? Were they just all hanging out around their cars and everything?
No, I think that when you see cars parked in a car park, you know, because a lot of people don't realise how big the Motorplex car park is.
Yeah.
It is huge. Like, normally when I get there, if I've got the kids with me, I'm parked on the grass on the other side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Right? Oh, yeah. So, I mean, like $10. It's good to walk.
No, it's just because the other one's full.
Oh, I just think exercises. I did my steps, girls. Let's go.
That side is full, and the grass is like, you know, as many cars there as there is there, and that's on a bad meeting. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I think it's just a little bit. But these were the takeaways from it. So number one, there's always cars going around, right? Number two, the commentary is pretty good. He's
any familiar names that we would know throughout different sporting events that we would be familiar with? I say that. You're looking at me like...
The commentary?
Yeah, and I
it's
say
the roll
that...
racing guys that do their own. Yeah. So they're familiar with the people that are there all the time. Mm-hmm. There's always cars circulating. There is never a point where there's nothing happening on the track. Right?
Yeah,
because what they do is they line the cars up on the downhill straight.
Yep.
Right? And then they're pairing them up there. So there's constantly cars going down. It's not like at the drags where they, you know, stop, wait, has that car cleared the track? You know what I mean? It's not like that. They're just going, right?
Yeah, right. And I suppose because they've got so much more with their braking area, do they do their 200 metres and then just keep driving around?
Yeah, they drive back around and line up.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So, but this was the one thing where I went, wow, you could never bring that in at the drags. $25 per car to get in. $25 per car.
Well, they are the entertainment, Simon.
No. I'm talking about the spectators. So you could have a minivan with 20 people in it.
Oh, it's $25 a car.
Get in, park,
flat rate.
Get out. That's it. And I was like, because when I pulled up and I'm going, oh, am I going to tell them my kids are 3?
Get in the boot, get in the boot.
I'm trying to work it out. And she goes, $25. I was like, $25? It's $25. And if you get there early, it's only 20 per car.
Wow.
Now, I thought, you know...
Did they used to do that in Claremont? Did Claremont Speedway used to be like that?
You know, I was thinking there was something...
I can't remember.
There was something like that.
Yeah.
It was per car.
I never went, but I feel like I've heard stories, and that I thought it was by the carload.
So I thought about...
Do you know where else is like that?
The drive-in.
Yes, how did you know I was going to say that? Yeah,
$20 on Tuesday
Galaxy
night.
Drive-in.
Yes,
it's per car.
That's
I mean,
right.
I've got a 7-seater.
That's
it's
right.
Party.
No, I know. Because when we took the kids, I was like, wow, I'm coming back here.
Yeah.
And then by about halfway through the night, I was like, we're never coming back here.
Oh, man, it's
The
hard.
kids.
It has to be
kids.
dark enough. That's the thing. It has to be dark
No,
enough.
I couldn't fault Galaxy. It was just...
No, I'm not...
My wife was going to...
I'm saying it has to be dark enough for the kids, but then you want it to be... You don't want to be freezing, so by the time it's dark in summer, it's like 8 o'clock.
They were fighting,
it's
Michelle. They were fighting. They were
yeah,
just
you've got boys.
constantly
Oh, I forget.
fighting.
Yeah, you've got boys. No.
Well, last time I went to the I actually took the XW to the drive-ins, and because the radio...
Yeah.
I had to get a separate radio because the radio doesn't. I don't have a radio.
No, and it's like an AM. Yeah, to get AM. Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
it was pretty cool, but
Trent and I went, and we went to Hans Cafe and got some takeaway beforehand, and then had one of those blow up sofas from Kmart, put it in the back of his ute. It was fantastic. It was really great.
Very cool.
Loved it. Yeah.
But yeah, that was the thing that I went, wow,
Per
can
car.
you imagine doing that at the drags? $25 per car.
yeah, that's
Like, you you can understand why people go.
Yeah.
Because it's $25. And I mean, if you're a 17, 18-year-old and you get 5 blokes in the car...
Yep.
Right, which you're not meant to under the new state government laws, but
no, on the
I like
reds
how
you
your
can't,
voice
but
just
on the
lower to do that disclaimer.
on the reds you can't, but on the green you can.
but if it's $5 each, you know what I mean. And the food was pretty cheap too. The food wasn't, with 2 kids that wanted water and wanted chips and wanted nuggets and whatever. I think I spent about $50 on the whole night.
But you can bring your own food in.
Yeah.
Bring your rescues
No,
in.
they
and
didn't
everything
check
as well?
anything.
Yeah,
Oh,
car
they
code.
didn't check, so you can...
Nothing.
Bring-
Nothing.
At car, even for the supercars, you can bring your own food and drink.
But
even
then
the
they
supercars.
don't... So, oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you see them all drinking on the hill.
No, you
Is
can't
that
bring
from their own?
alcohol.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe
you
they
can't.
didn't.
You can-
Maybe they bought that carton in the cardboard box.
But it was a different thing, and what I couldn't believe how many of my customers were there.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
mainly popularity. No doubt. I feel bad that I haven't gone, to be
Yeah.
honest.
So when's the next one? We might have to go out and take a look.
Yeah.
The next one is the 13th of December,
Okay.
and to enter, you kind of need to enter well in advance. They sell out the spots
I might
instantly.
need to see what my X-Trail can do now. Take the eco mode off. Boost.
No, I should go for a look because I feel bad that I haven't been.
The thing about it that is cool, like I think it's a little bit like burnout comps and that it's a little bit subjective. There's a lot of games that happen at the start of the race. Now, if you've got a car that's like way more powerful and all-wheel drive, then you're probably going to beat everyone regardless of what games they do. But there was some shenanigans going on in the start line because when you're on the outside and you're looking across, you're going to be behind that car that's setting the pace. You know what I mean? It is
Because there's still the pace car, so then...
Yeah, the outside car should be, not the inside, how they've got it set up. The
Right.
outside car should be the pace car because it's easier for the inside car to be able to see where he is
So
and be in
rolling
line.
in, do they have a speed limit for what they're rolling
Supposed
into?
to be 40 to 50 kilometres an hour. That's
Right,
what it's
yep,
supposed to
yep.
be.
So that's
but
kind of
the
thing.
guys that have got the blown cars will tend to slow down against the turbo cars to try and make their lag
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
become an
So
issue.
they
Can't build up.
Yeah, there's all these shenanigans that go on. But the one thing that blew me away was you had everything from SLR Tiranas, 671 blown HJ or HX Holdens, right through to twin turbo R8s, like Audi R8s and other supercars, GDRs. Mitch Lana, Mini Mitch was down there.
Oh, yeah.
He was kicking butt in his K70 with the Vortec blown LS in it.
Yeah.
There was an R100 with a rotor in it. There was all sorts of crazy. So anyone that's a car enthusiast, there is going to be at least one of that genre of car that he's into. It's not just Jappers or exotics or, and there's a show and shine that they do. So the event to me was really cool that they had covered so many different facets and it goes like you can get there at lunchtime and enjoy the show and shine and check this out and check that. They had simulators there. It was just a lot going on. And the one thing that was common with the people that I knew down there, customers and so on, they were going, this is going to hurt the drags. Like the drags having a year off. A lot more people are going to be attending this. And I was like, because I didn't think muscle cars came here. But they're like, no, well, a few used to. But it was kind of because I was talking to Peter Piscanieri from Mainline Motors today, and he was telling me one of his customers got a big block coupe that used to run down there, but it was kind of frowned upon. That it was more for the Japanese guys. You know what I mean? But now it's I mean, there was so many.
And so you said that there was the all-wheel drive, two-wheel drive categories, but is there more categories to then have for different? No. Just all-wheel or two-wheel?
No. And even then, one of my customers dropped off a car today, and I said, did you... Because Rick from Wicked Limousines, it was him and his son in the final, so it was an RS3 Audi and an R8 Audi, so two all-wheel drive Audis, both mega horsepower. And apparently Rick lifted to let his son win. So he's, anyway. So I knew who won the all-wheel drive category, but I was curious who won the two-wheel drive category because Mitch's car's quick. That little K70, he had it dialed in for that type of racing, and he said, that BMW, the red one. And I said, the X3, and he goes, I don't know what it is. I said, that's all-wheel drive. So I don't know for sure. And they're a bit like NDRC with their results and stuff.
Oh, it said two-wheel on the entry list. So
yeah. I was wondering, did he just scam everyone and say, no, it's two-wheel drive,
See, it says right here when he's filled out the form.
So, but there was some quick like AMGs. There was a bunch of HSVs down there, blown HSVs, late model Monaros. It was everything. It was
sounds really cool.
It was, but it would be nicer if they had a less subjective start line procedure.
Maybe
a bit like we do.
Yeah,
where we have a start line,
an actual start line.
Maybe we should get them on, have a chat.
Yeah,
they're pretty busy,
Simon's
you could
just
reach out
given
to
us.
them.
I'm not sure what else you've given us the full rundown. I'm sold now.
Yeah, no, I feel bad that I haven't been yet. I know that they've been on.
You should maybe try and do a Zoom or something with them because I've heard they're very, very busy. They run an event a week in Sydney, I believe.
Oh, so are they the same
They're
organisers?
not from Perth.
No.
The same organisers.
This is
across
why
it.
when the
Right.
Motorplex started doing it, I was like, I wonder if there's going to be any litigation because I don't know if they own the trademark or the IP, but when you think of roll racing, you associate it with those guys because they're the one.
I thought they were from Perth.
No. My understanding is that they fly in and put the event on, and then they fly back. And it is a great event. It is well supported, but the shenanigans on the start line, and I believe that Johnny Ricker spoke about this in their podcast. About that he jumped, he didn't, and all the caper that goes on. So it's obviously the same thing in Sydney. But from what I've been told, because I spoke to a couple of mates over there today, just comparing notes, and they were saying, "Nah, over here, if you do any of that crap, they just, that they red like you, and that's you're done." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you don't get another chance.
But how do they have? They would have like cameras. Can you contest against
the finish line? They have photo finish. There was a lot of photo finishes. Like it was really there was so many races.
At the start, though.
Well,
How do
It is a little bit subjective.
It is very subjective.
But that's part of the theatre of the sport as well. I think there's a bit of theatre that goes with that sport, and that's probably why.
Yeah, it's a bit like Street Outlaws.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why it's
Come on,
And
that
it's more
was
like
just
if you're doing it, well, you're just going to be getting a hard time from all your other races now. They'll know. You'll start to get a bit of a name for yourself.
I got the feeling that there was at least one person that, at least one race that if it happens again, that person's going to be like, not this time, buddy.
Yeah.
Because he had 3 car links on the start line, and I'm like, come on, that's not.
Oh, yeah, that's
not
obvious,
fair,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Well, I think it will be worth the
you
trip.
get that.
Book it in.
13th of December.
All right.
Fabulous.
Sounds great.
Well, Nick, how about you give us the rundown for the Supercar silly season?
Yeah, the season's not even over yet, but the silly season started by the look of things. There's a fair bit going on. I thought I'd talk about, like, Tony Quinn and Roland Dane were great mates, I thought, and I think they still are great mates, but
We still talking
but
about
Roland Dane's appointment at Peter Zuberus's Premier Racing has got a lot of people talking, and Tony Quinn, owner of Triple Eight, is probably the one that's most upset about it, and he's sort of said things like, I think once you've given people your word, that's your reputation, that's very important. Roland's is a friend from way back. I'm personally disappointed that he's doing that.
What was the word? Was the word the bird?
No. The word was
bird
that
is
he
the
was
word.
leaving. So basically, he said here he was leaving the sport. He gave everyone the message that he was hanging up the clogs and going off to America to see Jess and Shane Van Gisbergen, and off to England to see his other daughter. And then next minute we know he's running Peter Zuberus's team.
Well,
So-
I mean, was he going there to live?
Right, yeah,
He
did
did.
he say how long he was going for?
He did give the indication that he was leaving the sport. He'd sold his share to Tony Quinn and Jamie Whincup, and he was walking away from the sport. And next minute, we see him turn up at Peter Zuberus's team.
Oh, look, I got to admit, I was pretty happy when he left.
Yeah.
But, you know.
So I understand.
But are you happy for his return now with a different team?
Oh, I like Peter Zuberus. I mean, he's a drag racer.
Without your bias, supportive Peter for his drag racing side, but is it more that you're happy that Roland had left?
Let's see what he does. I didn't like the fact that he owned a team and he had shares in the actual event part of it.
Yeah,
and it
okay.
always seemed like when there was some sort of rule thing going on, that the rules tended to favour the brand that he was supporting.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
a bit of like a conflict of interest.
Bit of a
right?
conflict.
Yeah,
Would you agree, Nick?
Yeah,
There was a
100%.
conflict of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Mark Scaife having input on the design of the cars.
Yeah, 100%.
Bit of a conflict of interest.
Majorly. And I'm more concerned about how Peter and Roland are going to work together, because I know Peter's his own man, and I find it... I was amused by Pete putting
You don't
him
think
on.
Pete will step back?
Yeah, well, the plan is for him to step back, but I don't know. Is he...
Well,
Is he
Mountain, his drag racing has just been. It was very much clear that it was a hiatus. It wasn't a goodbye.
Yeah.
It was a see you later.
My gut feeling is he's hired Roland Dane. Roland Dane wants to get back into it anyway because he misses it.
Yep.
And he's going to go back to Top Fuel.
Okay, so then my next
Piloting.
question is, would Roland Dane be good for drag racing? How much input? Probably none.
None.
But would that be a good thing if he started
No,
getting involved
in fact,
the drag racing?
No. My opinion is
motorsport
this
teams.
was going to happen. He's going to be saying to Peter, "What are you doing that crap for? What are you doing that for?" And then Peter's going to get sick of hearing it, and he's going to come into work one day and say, listen, Roland, if you mention it one more time, you're fired.
I don't know. I just think maybe Roland hasn't
Allegedly.
seen
So I'll show
the
you what I can do.
opportunities in drag racing, and sometimes bringing a different
Nah.
guy from way over there, way over there.
Well,
to the
maybe,
sport.
like Peter Ziberis, he got brought into drag racing from being a part and watching a friend race, and that's how he became a fan. So maybe he's saying to Roland Dane, well, come on board this supercar team,
Nah,
and then
you look,
maybe you'll see a bit more of the drag racing side, and
any of
you'll
these
become a fan of that
people
too.
in this circle, right? Any of these people in this circle, number one, whether they know it or not, they are fearful of drag racing, right? Because even AI says it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense that drag racing is not the most popular motorsport in the world because attention spans are getting shorter, right?
Well,
They
I mean,
are fearful.
Yeah, there's no denying that.
They are fearful of drag racing, number one. Number two, they don't appreciate the technical side of it.
Yes.
Because when you've got this type of car with all these sensors and this live telemetry and the ability to make changes...
And you've got how many laps to be able to make up for any faults.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whereas with drag racing, you need to be on point every time.
Yeah.
Right?
Something goes wrong, you can't make a pit stop and change it. Something goes wrong, it's cost you the run and you're out for the day.
Number three, imagine telling them that we are going to strip this car down, like 60% of this car is going to be laid out on that bench, and we're going to put it back together. We're going to do that in 45 minutes, and then we're going to send it down the track at 500 kilometres an hour.
And then we're going to do it all again.
And then we're going to do it again, and we're going to do it again, and we're going to do it again.
And you point to the guy and say, "You're taking the clutch out."
Yeah.
But not
and these
just
are all
that.
the discs that you're grinding in between.
You got to remember that these guys, especially in the modern era, those engines come in a crate.
Yeah.
They bolt it in.
Yeah, I know.
And then they send it back
Send it away.
Yeah, to DJR or
KRE.
KRE.
Yeah.
That's all right. I need a 3-letter acronym.
Yeah. Anyway, look, I mean, I thought it was an interesting some commentary from Tony Quinn. Maybe it's a bit of theatre in this as well. Maybe Tony and Roland in the background having a chuckle and patting each other on the back, and maybe they're just building up a bit of rivalry as we move into 2026. I don't know.
Well, is there any rivalry now?
No, there's none whatsoever.
There's none. They're all like,
Yeah.
I'm so glad that he won. Like, what?
Oh, but then again, we had the elite. We had
Yeah,
the elite.
see,
and
that's proper.
Yeah, KB Titans and elite on the start line,
Yep.
and then the commentary was full on, and they're all in, and the elite's taking a swing on the top. Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, that's what's kind of like, you want to be that corporate image, but you don't see back in the day the rivalry between Dick Johnson and Peter Brock. Alan Moffat, and they all hated it. You know, they probably understood that you need the guy in the other lane, right? So if that guy needs, something, you're better off helping him.
Yeah.
But then on the racetrack, you want to rip each other's throats out. You know what I mean? That's the thing. And the whinging. The RX-7 needs this, and you know what I mean? It was just constant, like, the carby and and then they weighed the XE. Do you remember all that stuff?
Yeah.
It was full on.
Group C days.
It was.
So we drag races too nice.
No, I'm saying the V8 supercar.
They're being too nice.
They've all
Don't worry, the
everyone's-
Kwinana drag
Everyone's
race.
becoming too nice.
There's plenty of rivalry down at Kwinana, mate. You just need to have your sticker on one of those cars, and all of a sudden you get yelled at by someone. You don't even need to be on the team.
I've had plenty of kindness. I've had plenty of kindness at Kwinana. Just to reiterate on that, the first round for me last season, I called on 7 different people for help for all the things that I needed when my starter motor blew up inside itself. There was 7 different people that helped me with different parts.
Yeah,
because there was 3 different starter motors to find one to actually fit and work within the chassis and everything.
That used to be like when we were down Ravenswood, and that was a thing. There was 1 or 2, a-holes that wouldn't lend you stuff or wouldn't help you. But as soon as you get to the start line, don't think that person in the other lane that's just loaned you a starter motor doesn't want to rip your throat out.
Well, did you... I'm not sure if we spoke about it after the Andra Championship finals. Rick Johns made the finals in Supercomp.
Yep.
They actually didn't have enough fuel. They ran out of fuel. And it was actually their competitor that they were versing in the finals that lent them fuel that then Rick went on to beat and win in the final against. Thanks for the fuel, mate. I wouldn't have been able to make the full pass without it.
That's how it should be. But when you cross the finish line at the other end, that competitor, he should be going, man, I need to be better. I need to try. He should be upset. You know, he should be upset. It is all right for him to be upset and say, not because he loaned him the fuel, but because he lost the race.
Yeah, it needs to come back to be about what actually happened.
We're down there to race each other. It is a race. If we're not down there to race each other, let's give everyone a participation certificate.
Yeah.
And, have a barbie together or something.
No, that's the thing. You can't really claim the victory if your car hasn't been able to compete against anyone on default or anything like that.
And Rick's a good guy. Rick,
absolutely. Been in the sport a long time, and a lot of people have very good things to say about
that's right.
the whole family.
Absolutely. That's right.
The whole
and
family
his
and Liz's
wife
contribution into motorsport in Australia in general.
Works
she goes
tirelessly.
Tirelessly.
Yeah, 100%.
And the 2026 Supercar calendar has been released?
Yes, it has. We are back to 14 rounds. We're back to pre-COVID rounds, basically.
Right.
We haven't had 14 rounds since that cough that went around in 2020.
What was it called?
COVID-19.
19 in 2019.
Oh, sorry, I must have missed that.
The bad news, we are now down to 6 races that are on free-to-air. So they are the Sydney 500, that'll be on 7. The Melbourne Super Sprint, which will be on Network 10 because that's part of the Formula 1 telecast. The NTI Townsville 500 will be on 7. Repco Bathurst 1000 on 7 because that falls under the anti-siphoning laws. The Boost Mobile Gold Coast 500 is on 7.
Anti-siphoning laws?
Yeah.
I understood when you said that Melbourne was with 10 because it had to align with the F1s, but...
So Bathurst in Australia is protected under the anti-siphoning laws.
I thought that was that valve that... when you go to fill up, you got to push...
that's when you have to transfer some fuel out from one car to the other.
So
it's anti-siphoning.
So in Australia, we have the anti-siphoning laws which protect... So the Bathurst 1000, the Ashes, the Australian Open, tennis that is... Melbourne Cup, and there's a few other events. Basically.
I wouldn't be upset if the tennis
and they have to be on free-to-air TV. You have to make that available to free-to-air TV.
What about the Australian National?
Oh, the grand final, of course. The grand final.
Okay.
The AFL grand final and the NRL grand final have to be on pay.
So it's more that it has to be on free-to-air, not that it has to be on 7.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I was getting confused against.
There's legislation protecting these events, is there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Correct. Yeah, they have to be on free-to-air TV. Have to be
just
made
like
available.
Bluey has to be on free-to-air TV after Nick, you told us about how passionate you are.
I'm still upset about that.
Yeah,
most Australian sporting event we ever used to have was the Call the Nationals.
Well, that may have fallen under the anti-siphoning laws. Anyway, one thing I am a little bit disappointed with, and I saw an announcement yesterday as well, trying to dress it up, but there's no dressing it up. Moving the final farewell Wanneroo Raceway race to August is a very, very bad move.
Because of rain?
Yeah, August is the worst month in Western Australia. Worst month, sorry, in the Perth
So do you think Roger Cook's going to use this for the Burswoods to say, well, look, it's not a success. We're going to have to move it to Burswood. The numbers are down. It was a total tragedy. West Australian Sporting Car Club couldn't keep going like this. We had no choice but to move it to Burswood.
I don't think the state government had much say in it, to be honest with you. I think doing the 2 rounds in New Zealand this year has pushed us down the list. But anyway, needless to say, I'm not happy about that. Anyway, it's going to be in August, and
well, look at the bright side. There'll be heaps of wrecks.
I just think it's a crap time of the year to be down there. You know what I mean? Can't we just? I'd love to
Imagine
go
the
down
highlight
to
reel, though.
I know.
I'd love to be down at Carco Raceway in just a pair of shorts and thongs. Anyway,
You know, we could go. You know,
Nothing
those
like a good poncho.
those
You'll be
fishing things they wear with the big big trunks there.
and the braces.
In the braces.
Have you
ever been down there when it's raining?
No, I haven't.
It's just like the biggest mud pit.
Yeah.
It's a bad place. To be
Maybe
this
they
week.
could have that as a sideshow. The mud racing, the mud pit racing. You know,
I think I have
it's
actually been
bad
across to the
when it's raining,
the motocross track when it's been raining. But yeah, it's just
mud.
slush. Yeah.
Sludge.
Yeah. Well, let's get into some news for the NHRA Las Vegas event, which was ran at Las Vegas Motorsports Speedway from the 30th of October until the 2nd of November, just finishing up this morning.
It did, yes. I was watching the live results while I was typing this up. Okay, the second last race of the season had all the excitement and drama that we've come to expect from this season, with one exception. Top Fuel only had 13 starters, opening up the field to solo runs.
This is exactly what the NHRA was trying to avoid when they introduced the countdown system. But now that we're seeing this happen under the countdown system, is it time to abandon it?
Brittany Force's second last race for the foreseeable future saw her taking the number one spot in Top Fuel over championship contender Doug Coletta, followed by Sean Langdon.
The Force team showed their dominance, taking not only the top spot in Funny Car with Austin Prock, but also a second spot with Jack Beckman, and rounding out the three, who else but Matt Hagan.
The Greg and Double O Dallas show was busted up in Pro Stock, Greg taking top spot, but number two was Aaron Stanfield, showing that the Elite Motorsport team has, without any doubt, found their stride, with Corey Reed taking third spot.
No prizes for guessing who top qualified for Pro Stock Motorcycle, Gage Herrera, but number two went to an unexpected Angie Smith, showing the V-twins may still have some fight left in them, even with the clear NHRA bias towards the Vance and Hines Suzuki program. Rounding out third was Brandon Davis.
Don't blame Michelle for that comment. I wrote that in.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah.
Braden has really had an epic season, managing to out-qualify teammate, points leader and factory backed rider Richard Gadsden. If I were Gadsden, I'd be worried about losing my seat for the next season to Braden. You'd have to say he certainly deserves it. He does deserve it, I think.
Is that a possibility, though?
Well, as far as I know, that's a paid ride now.
For both?
No, not for Gadsden.
So Gadsden's
a team rider.
Well, that will be interesting to see.
I think he'll still be there, Simon.
I think they've got a few bikes
Gadsden.
in their garage that are...
I mean, it's going to come down to, look, one thing about Vance and Hines, they will tend to stick with their rider, but they'll eventually cut them. And when they cut them, they cut them. We saw that with Angel.
Sampi.
Is that her name this week?
Oh, Sampai. Sampai.
Savoy, and back when I was madly in love with her.
Yeah, I didn't realise that's what you guys... I thought it was my pronunciation, but you're...
No, she's changed the name. What was it back then?
Always...
Savoy. And before that was... I can't remember.
I actually had a bit of trivia with Trent about Angie's maiden name.
Angie Smith?
Yeah, who she was because she joined Matt Smith Racing under her previous name.
Well, Angel was with Antron.
Yes. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, so what was her name back then?
I'm not sure.
But yeah, she's changed it a few times.
They're actually married.
But she was just incredible rider back in those days. But when they cut her, and it was a deep cut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, on that news for Angel, though, she's in Top Alcohol Dragster now with the vision set to be racing Top Fuel for Antron Brown.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, for Antron Brown. It's correct.
Well, yes. I mean, it's good to stay friends. No burnt bridges there, obviously.
No. What were we up to?
Kicking off, the low car count in top fuel meant that Brittany Force and Doug Coletta both received one solo each, Brittany taking the first round solo and Doug taking the second round solo. In the third round, Force took out a wheel-spinning Tony Stewart to head to the finals.
On the other side of the ladder, Sean Langdon took a close win over teammate Doug Coletta, proving that in the Coletta pits there is no team orders. Doug headed into the event with a points lead, and many were surprised that Langdon wasn't told to throw the race to solidify Doug's championship chances.
In the final, both cars left within 6 thousandths of each other, with Langdon getting the early lead. The lead held to 60 feet. Brittany made up good at 330 feet and kept that momentum going with a 3.704 to Langdon's 3.727, winning by about 9 feet, which is just under 3 metres. Great to see Brittany getting the win, especially because it will be her last season for a while after making the decision to start a family.
Now, I just wanted to say, did you want to speak about, this? Because you've been through it. You made the decision to park up the car.
Yeah.
Had the kids.
Yep.
And then made the decision to get back into the car.
Yeah, and I think I've spoken to you guys about it before. When we parked the car, it was never intended to be for. It ended up being over 7 years, but I was just really parking it with the intentions of having the season off because it came so close after I won the championship in Queensland, and we had a bit of uncertainty happening with our Perth Motorplex track. Once then, within the time of me parking the car, engaged 6 months later with knowing that a wedding would soon follow, and we did want to have kids quite soon after that. It's really difficult. It's really difficult prioritising racing and over your family, and for Brittany and how many rounds and how much travel time the NHRA series takes, it really is on such a much bigger level. I think for her, it would be that prioritising the time to racing over the time with family. For me and Trent, it was definitely, in my mind, it was prioritising the money to racing, where then you're trying to do what's best for your family and grow. And we ended up doing some renovations to our house. And that was the thing for us. It was like, okay, I could spend the money on getting the car ready again, or we could do up the backyard so our kids have a great place to play and to be able to be a part of that. I've shared this with you before because I was still able to share that opportunity, share the experience with Trent racing. It did feel very selfish for me to get back in the car just so I could be the one driving. But having the girls grow their love for the drags, it's just nothing makes me believe the saying more that it's in their blood. They are drag racing obsessed. And, I told you guys before we hadn't broken the news about not taking the girls to Sydney with us this time round. And we've organised so many exciting things for them to do. They're even going on their own little holiday while we're in Sydney. Luna was excited. She's all thinking about the little holiday that she's going to be going on with her cousins and Nanny. But Cleo was down in the dumps. She said, I want to come to the drags. I want to come to the drags, Mum. And I'm so fortunate that it's something that we can all share together, and seeing that interest in them then made it easier for me to come back into racing. But now with the car's going to be based in Sydney on the East Coast until racing resumes at the Perth Motorplex. As I said before, our airfares doubled in price in comparison to August, for what we paid in August. And I am a very, I don't know, do you guys want to describe me? I am a very high energy racer. I'm very high energy.
You're a very high energy
person.
Everything.
I'm very high energy. Trent and I mentally prepare for race day, for racing very differently. We we really did, and I'm not letting out any like skeletons in our closet type things, but we really butt heads when I started racing again, because Trent then thought my high energy and hyperactivity and how much I would interact with the crowd, you know, seconds before I'm actually due to be on the drag strip, let alone in the staging lanes.
He was worried about your mental focus.
Yeah, he was like, you're not
He
concentrating,
didn't understand
you need to.
that the HD in your ADHD means heavy duty.
Heavy duty. Attention. Attention deficiency, heavy duty, hyperactivity, drag racer. Done. I just need a couple of extra 80s onto my ADHD. So it's like that's, we really butt heads, and I had to say to him, you know, and of course because there's me, my personality, who I am. There's Trent, his personality, who he is and how he mentally prepares for a race. And then there's Trevor. And it's like, if me and Trent have different distance between how we mentally prepare and how we mentally feel as if we are the best racers we can be, Trevor's then a mile down the road, a complete polar opposite to what my headspace and my energy is on race day, because he is just so, it's all in his head, and you cannot read anything from his, you know, body language, from his face expressions. It's just all inside his head for there to stay. For me, it's high energy. And when Trent was, you know, he was actually giving me a hard time. He's like, you're not taking it seriously. You know, you got to go and lock yourself in the tow car and have some time to
Trent's
yourself.
very, very focused when you race. He was racing when Brenton was racing. I think we raced both of them at some stage, Sam and...
Is this Brenton Baxter?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was. Yeah. Well, I mean,
very
we were all
focused.
racing in modified together, but you know, I tried that to a degree, probably, and it's all that Trent's seen, known, and look, it works for him. But I had to say to him, like, I started doing that, and I then faltered. I wasn't racing my best. I wasn't performing at my best. I certainly wasn't enjoying it. And I had to say to him, you know, that's you. That's how you want to do it when you're in your car, but this is how I want to do it with mine. I'm sure that there's probably outside people looking in that are having that same...
Michelle, you're like, I just got to let go of the button. What's the big deal?
But do you know what? Having my girls
all I gotta
with
do.
me, having my girls with me kind of makes, at least I think people, it kind of gives me an excuse to be able to be my true self. They give me the confidence to be my true self. So I'm actually, I didn't intend on saying this, but I'm actually nervous about not racing with them in Sydney. It's going to be the first time. I'm nervous about not racing with them because they give me the confidence to be my loud and wild, dancing in the pits kind of.
All you need to do is say to yourself, I need to bring this trophy back for the girls.
Oh, yeah. And they will be. They will be. But going back to Brittany, she's been living alongside her highly, highly successful sisters.
But what about, she would have been travelling with her dad throughout his...
She would have been travelling with her dad, but... She's lived alongside highly successful Ashley Force, never returned to racing after kids.
Yep.
Highly successful Courtney Force, never returned to racing after kids. It's... I don't...
And Robert Hite, to a certain extent, it's her brother-in-law.
Robert Hart's her brother-in-law. He was still racing with kids, and I mean, like...
Don't go there, Nick.
And you know,
No,
when
but
we
he
were saying...
hasn't returned to racing. That's the...
I think it was a medical issue while he had actually stepped out in the end, and maybe something
ex-brother-in-law,
else.
Nick.
Yeah, there may be something else why he stepped out.
Ex-brother-in-law.
I didn't know.
But then Robert Hite's daughter, you know, we actually...
He runs JFR.
Yes, he is. He's still the manager and everything.
Yeah.
But we spoke about this a couple of episodes ago and said and questioned whether any of the Forced grandkids were racing. And I was thinking Ashley's kids and said no, forgot about Robert. But his daughter does. His daughter does race. I think maybe just in juniors, but, you know, they're involved. But, you know, having been alongside Ashley more so recently, and I think more so with age difference and where the sport is even with Courtney, she would have heard their reasons for not returning. And so I think it's going to be interesting. It will be interesting, but I tell you what, it would be a huge shame if she didn't, because she's the only force.
Yeah, she's been very successful too.
Realistically, and until the Robert's daughter, and not carrying the force name, but she's the only force name racing now.
She's the queen of speed.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure if we can take that away from Shirley Mondani just yet, but okay.
Well, she's 340.
Yeah, she holds a mile an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that crown's still firmly Shirley.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just, you know, she's got the number.
Wasn't Courtney and Erica banding themselves with that name? Queen of Speed?
No, they're Queen of Weed.
Oh, Queen of Weed, sorry.
Yeah, that's
no, that was the
anyway.
We've got the weed and we got the speed and we got the weed.
Alrighty, back to it. Car counts were not a problem in Nitro Funny Car, which saw the return of Del Worsham making a few great runs and qualifying 12th in the 21 car field. It just shows the appeal of the bodied cars over the dragsters, with one class falling well short of the 16 car minimum and the other, more expensive class, getting 21 starters.
An unexpected second round loss for Jack Beckman to Daniel Wilkinson saw Dan take a whole shot win with a 0.57 light to Jack's 0.98. This set up the semi-finals with Dan going down to Matt Hagan after smoking the tyres around 300 feet.
In the marquee matchup of the round, Austin Prock took out rival and former long-time sponsor of John Force Racing, Bob Tasker. Both cars left within 6 thousandths of each other, but by 60 foot, the gap was opening up and Austin took the win by a car length at the stripe.
In the final, Prock got out on Hagan, but not by much. 3 thousandths separated the Chevy and the Dodge. Prock struck the tyres around the 200-foot mark and had the best seat in the house to watch Hagan drive away with the win. A big win it was, running a massive 3.877 at a slowing 327 mile per hour.
Better late than never, Matt Hartford seemed to have found his pace again after a standout season in 2023. Matt made it through to the semi-finals where he took out one of the all-time greats, Jeg Coughlin Jr.
On the other side of the ladder, what may be the championship deciding race of the season, 00 Dallas Glenn faced off against Greg Anderson. Glenn got the whole shot by 7 thousandths, holding on to take the win by about 40 centimetres.
In the final, 00 Dallas proved he still got it, unloading a 006 on Hartford and making it a wire-to-wire win with a 6.602 to Hartford's 6.625.
Two of the biggest upsets of the event happened in the Pro Stock Motorcycle semi-finals, with Angie Smith taking out Braden Davis and Gage Herrera taking out teammate and points leader Richard Gadsden. Davis had been a standout with his limited 8 races so far out of the 14 events contested.
Davies' bike had issues just past 60 foot, handing Angie the win. In the other pairing, Gage dropped a 005 on his teammate, but only after Gadsden left first with a 000. Trip zip. It's not bad. On a bike. By the 60-foot mark, Gage had the lead and never looked back, winning with a 6.825 to Gadsden's 6.857.
In the final, Gage left on Angie, but not by much. The margin 5 thousandths of a second. By 60 feet, the race was over with Gage dropping another astounding 1:04 60-foot time to Angie's 1:07. Gage ran a 6.809 to Angie's 6.813, a margin of victory of about 3 feet, which is less than a metre.
This win closed the points gap on teammate Richard Gadsden to 21 points, with the points and a half bonus at Pomona. That is less than one round of racing. Matt Smith is third at 129 points behind. Not unachievable, but Gadsden and Gage would have to not qualify and Matt would need to go to the finals. Highly unlikely, but the Gage-Gadsden battle will go to the wire, if not the last pairing.
In Pro Stock, Double O Dallas is out in front, 92 points ahead of Greg Anderson, with Matt Hardford in third, 249 points back. All KB Racing lockout of the top three. Greg could win, but once again, highly unlikely. There are only 2 in contention.
This is not the case in Funny Car, with Austin Prock's lead only 101 points ahead of Matt Hagan. That is only 3 rounds and a few bonus points. Fast Jack Beckman is out of contention, 178 points behind in third. We've seen Funny Car fortunes change at the strike of a tyre, and it isn't impossible to see a first round glitch put Austin on the trailer and watching his fate by the guardrail while Hagan marches on. So keep an eye on that one.
Doug Coletta is 144 points out on teammate Sean Langdon. Never say never in the nitro categories. We watched it happen in 2006 when Tony Schumacher and Greg Johnson put together the run, while Doug watched from the sidelines.
Oh, sorry, I apologise. That's meant to be Alan Johnson.
Yeah, I was like, Greg? Who's Greg? Hang on a second.
Sorry.
When Tony Schumacher and Alan Johnson...
My bad.
Put together the run while Doug watched from the sidelines. Let's not forget Justin Ashley is 163 points, and if the pieces fall right in place, could still be in with a chance. So that run...
That was incredible.
And this was the calculation was Doug had to get out in the first round.
Yep.
Tony had to win the event.
Set low ET and top speed.
And a top speed record to be able to get those bonus points.
And he hadn't done it until, so it had to be on that last run.
And got it done. My gosh. Could you
But you know, I was listening to a podcast talking about this. How often does those sorts of things happen in sporting events where, you know, that the field goal or you know what I mean?
But it's the little bonus points that are there's those tiny little increments to just get more. It's not the last play of the day or anything. This is just not only win, but just those bonus points on top to be able to bring it over. That's how much is the bonus points? And are bonus points then points and a half when it's on the...
I don't know. That's a good point. That is a good point. I don't know.
Is it like a total points and a half or... Yeah,
I don't know. I'd have to... And I don't know what the bonus... Like... I think here used to be like 5 points or 10 points or something like that, but I don't know what it is in the NHRA.
Yeah.
And you know what else I don't know? I don't know who's going to win, but I do know that this next event, the In-N-Out Burger NHRA Finals, held at Pomona Drag Strip, November 13th to 16th, will be jam-packed with excitement and decide who will be crowned the NHRA champion for 2025.
Ooh, we will see.
Cannot wait.
But we should also give a special mention to our man Shane Phillips. He was over in Vegas driving for Randy Meyer Racing on the weekend.
So this is Gary's son?
Yeah. And you know, when we spoke about his win for the Winter Nationals, it was really good. You actually said you weren't sure how to pronounce his name, being that it's Cheyne. And when I was watching qualifying on Friday, the NHRA announcers actually said, you know, and this is Shane Phillips from Australia. Shane spelled C-H-E, and they said they spelt out his name and said pronounce Shane, which I think it's good because. And especially, I think, for in the south of America, like Cheyenne is a very common name, and that's spelt, you know, C-H-E-Y.
Yep.
And
it's also the name of a truck.
Yeah.
Oh.
Chevy truck, Chevy Cheyenne.
Well, there we go. So Shane, he was over racing for Randy Myers, and he did absolutely amazing in qualifying. He had some really quick times. I think coming into the last qualifying round, he was actually sitting in second, but I think he got bumped down to seventh qualifier in the end. It was such a tight race. He got knocked out in the first round. He ran a 5.285 at 269 mile per hour. He said a cylinder just dropped around the 1,100 feet mark, but the margin of victory to his opponent was 5 thousandths of a second. He had a reaction time of 0.31 and his opponent was like a 0.25 or something like that. It was so tight, and I just...
And that was injected nitro car? Or blown? Because that's pretty stout to get out of a blown car. And
No, injected nitro?
yeah, because Myers injected nitro.
Right? Injected.
I'm just going to view
But Shane will be back in the Randy Myers racing car competing at Pomona as well. So we'll be cheering alongside, watching on in support.
Yes, that is injected. What am I looking at there? Yes, that is 100% injected
It's
nitro.
behind the car.
Yeah, no, because the Maggie was coming out. I'm going, what if they got the motor on an angle? And then I went, no, hang on. It's one cylinder head.
Yeah. But so promising once I was seeing his qualifying times, because his qualifying times were so strong, but his reaction times were so consistent around the 020. They were ranging with, I'm pretty sure it was just within the 020 mark, and I don't even think he did an 030, with the 030 being in the first round, but it was such consistent reaction times. And with
big difference that, like one is handbrake, accelerator, clutch, holding the RPM, going in and then dropping the clutch. That is go in at idle, go to the high side and jump on the gas. So pretty stout to cut those sorts of lights.
He's done it to get his head around that.
Very
well.
Very
Should
impressive.
be in a
And that's
fuel
the thing,
car.
It's a pro tree. Like, yeah.
He's who's he going to be driving for next season?
Well, I mean, his Ultra was fierce at the Winters, and I think he's got a big future ahead of him, hopefully for Australian racing. I mean, it's probably better for his career if it was in America, being how much bigger the sport is over there. But I just think all the best and best wishes to him. He's always been such a nice, friendly guy. He has been putting so much into, his dad's racing for so long, and seeing where... I'm pretty confident in saying that we're the same age, and seeing how much racing I've been fortunate enough to be able to have, and how young I was starting in the car. He's been his dad's left-hand man and just been alongside his dad for so long. I'm so excited, and so it's so great to see him in the car and getting the success that he really deserves, just taking on all that knowledge and learning that he's had with Gary.
On another subject, what do you guys think about what's going on with Tony Schumacher? Tony Stewart. And like I would have just thought that, if you're going to stay in fuel, you just build another car. You've already got all the established infrastructure. Yeah,
it's going to be really strange. And we've spoken about it before, where it's like in NASCAR, where it's like the team owner of that team actually drives for a different team, and it's like
there is that with,
we've spoken about it before, but then when we talk about conflict of interest, if they're head to head against each other, what's going to happen if Tony Stewart comes up against Leah in the finals?
Denny Hamlin
and he's versing his own car.
He doesn't have to go home and sleep with Bob Wallace. I'm not sure that anyone would want to see that either.
He'll be in the final, and they're strong competitive cars, and he'll be in the final alongside Leah and be like, "This is my wife that I'm competing against, and my race team."
Yeah, I don't know. It was just
weird. There's going to have to be a disclaimer in his contract agreement with Rick.
Did he get used car salesman? Just sign here, Tony.
Just sign here that if I ever come up in a final against my wife, that I'll have to.
Just sign. It's just for the warranty. Just
that we have the tune-up set to blow the tyres off of the lot. You'd have to. Oh, we will see.
And the old owner of that team is driving for
so now,
Force.
yes, we haven't mentioned that.
Yeah. Oh,
Josh
okay.
Hart.
Yeah, yes.
Yes, because we had a bit of an extended break.
Who is also a used car
So
salesman.
Josh Hart will be stepping into Brittany Force's
Correct.
dragster while she is on her hiatus with hopes of a family.
And he will be bringing on board his own sponsorship, and Richard Freeman
Freeman from Elite.
They dropped the D at some stage on the way from. Anyway,
Just been a tyre shake, dropped it out. The sticker fell off. And
he has taken the JNL carriages
Yes, correct.
sponsorship which Josh Hart had on his car. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Yeah. So there was a thing
sold
on.
the car with the sponsorship committed
No.
to.
So this is what happened. This is
Oh.
according to Richard, the used car salesman Freeman.
Right.
I don't think he's used cars. He's truck and trailer. So.
Truck and
So-
trailer, whatever it is, whatever.
Amongst all of that, let's just get a bit of a clear line. Josh Hart has to bring a sponsor over to Force.
Well, I believe that he's bringing his own company.
His own business over.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so he's bringing
and
his
Force
own
would have
business
some
over.
existing sponsors.
He would have probably still had a great relationship with J&L.
Yeah, so
But-
this was on NHRA Insider. They interviewed Freeman, and they said, Brian Long was like, we got to get these rumours out, and just
There's
get
been
this
some
out
talk
in the
happening
open.
in the pits, and there always is.
Because there was a suggestion that he'd stolen the sponsor, right? And then he goes, no. Josh Hart and I, we know each other. We get on great. We become friends. And I'm thinking, didn't they have a punch on in the pits?
Oh, when? After the sale?
No, a while
Your
back.
check didn't clear.
A while back. But anyway, there was some controversy. Anyway, so
Josh
apparently
looks so innocent, though.
what happened, this, I think it was the crew, this guy came into the car yard or trailer van or whatever car yard.
Yeah, it's
and
truck and trailer.
he was looking at buying a used van, and then he said, look, I'll probably just build a new one, and yeah, all right, no worries. And he said, if you need finance, just let me know. And the guy started sort of laughing and said, no, I'll be fine with finance. And then he rang the guy up about something, because I think that they're building him a new...
Oh, okay, that kind of finance. Yeah, right.
Yeah, building
Yep.
him a new van. And it turns out that he owns J&L carriers.
Right.
And then they started talking, and then that's where the relationship grew.
Yeah.
And then apparently he rang Josh Hart and he said, hey, are you going to be cool?
I don't really want to pay for a new wrap on the car. We're putting enough money into this as it is.
That
Do you
sounds
reckon I could just
legit.
keep the name on for another season?
Yeah, so they're all cool about it. And then they interviewed Josh Hart about
Yeah.
it, and he verified the story, and he said, look, I'm very excited to be joining John Force Racing.
That's awesome. And then, you've got a selling team car
It's
that's
the
someone will jump
hospitality.
on for.
The hospitality
into a
side
winning
of it.
car.
Elite does that well, and what they all say, all of them, is that Don Schumacher taught them all how to do it
set
properly.
the standard. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. It was, yeah.
We're starting to see a little bit of that here with Santo. Mm-hmm. I noticed that.
Yeah, and I actually think that all of the top fuelers had done up their hospitality areas when they came over for Perth. Obviously, Santos, being that they've got the bigger team and trailers, I think they had more of an area.
But is Michelle? Is that something that we should be looking at?
100,000%. And I'm going to tell you an idea that I've had, because we are trying to find what more can I give my sponsor than sticker on the car? What more can I give them by sticker on the car? And I'm like, I want to give them the experience. I don't want to be so heavily dependent on who's going to see you on my car when I'm going 300 kilometres an hour. I don't have a huge... And realistically, I then think about, okay, can I work a corporate box deal into my sponsorship pitch.
Maybe that's not the go. Maybe
no, and this is where my idea is, right? If I end up having to work out and calculate some costs of how much it would cost me that I'm paying for with the sponsors' money that they've given me to then fund 12 tickets into the box and food and drink for them to be able to have a good time, I could be doing something a lot more feasible for me, where then I don't have to ask more, where then X amount is actually going to the hospitality in the pits. Now, Andrew Pirolo, he's got the sponsor with Full Belly Catering, and they set up a marquee, and they've got some Bain Marie dishes and absolute just feast that they'll have in their pits. Now, we've been down to the Speedway. They don't set up their pits the same way we do. You know, so they actually had a marquee pop-up, which was probably the only one at the Speedway doing that, because they all work in open air, because by the time the Speedway, the sprint car's up and the wings are on, it's too tall for the pop-up anyway. I think if our pits allow it, which lately they would be able to allow it, reserve off an area in your pits, and if you can't or don't want to, or for my case, I don't have a family member that can come down there with me to be able to do the hospitality side of things, and I am busy with the car, but I'm also busy with the girls, and I don't want to sacrifice that to be able to be cooking a meal while serving my guests. But even like, how about say, here's an esky with some meats, and here's a nice clean barbecue for you, here's some tables and chairs. And when you want to break from watching in the sands and sitting in the sun, come down and make use of the barbecue and table area and have a bit of time out. I can do a bit of a chat and say what was happening and educate and ask any questions, and you can have a bit of a chill out zone.
I was thinking maybe that...
Did I go too far?
Well, maybe making them cook their own food was...
Yeah, but we're drag racers, you know. I mean, like, I just think...
Have you spoken
I just
with
more
Sam?
think like I'm going to have to find another person to be able to...
No, this is what I was going to say. What if, say, 4 teams all combined and gave a little bit of space each and shared the cost of the marquee and the catering and had all their sponsors, and then also shared that if you all get along together and you're not going to backstab or, you know, all together jointly, like, you know, you come for a little bit, then, you know, someone from your crew, and then they come, and then someone from their crew. Well, and just during the course of the day, make sure that they know where the toilets are, they've always got food, they've always got drink. You know,
well, we actually did a little bit something a little bit similar with that when pitting with Benny Stevens when he came over.
Yes, correct.
You know, we all put in for the we all pitted together, and then with the allocated space that we were assigned by the Motorplex, we then laid out the marquee in a way that would best display all the vehicles, but then had a table area there for the teams to be able to eat. We just all put in to be able to eat.
But more geared
there
towards the guests and the sponsors.
I think just because of who we had, I mean, certainly Benny's sponsors were in on that, and of course Danny and Denani Hotshots were in, who we were really putting on the marquee for, showcasing all of their Denani Hotshot sponsored team there. For myself and for the Nailers, I'm not too sure how much. I didn't extend that invitation further onto anyone else.
But you know what I mean?
It certainly could be an option.
Because if you look at, you know, the Colettas or the Schumachers when Don had all the teams, or Elite or KB or John Force, it's the same thing, except they happen to own all of those teams. Yeah,
that's right. And the thing is that a lot of the time they'll have their awning set up with all their hospitality tables, their Bain Marie tables are all set there, and round tables with like 8 chairs around each of them, and there's probably like 8 chairs under each one. But then they've got their massive trailer kitchen parked further down away, which is cooking all the food. So they cook all their food
right. Yep.
in a massive trailer that is just a commercial kitchen inside a truck. And so they've got, their trucks for each of their race cars, but then they've got their truck kitchen as well.
That's pretty cool, eh?
Yeah, and that's the thing.
That's when you know you've made it.
And so as much as realistically, what they're setting up in each of their race teams is just the tables and chairs and the bain-marie dishes to then put the food into. The food's already cooked out.
No grand piano?
I would be surprised.
Pumping out lasagna.
Yeah. Though
We could have all the nonnas.
I think, at least for when I was over there with the Don Schumacher's team and everything, it's more the electric guitar that they would want to be having. Ron Capps is a big heavy metal fan.
Really?
Yeah, he's massive heavy metal fan.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I already love the guy.
Yeah.
Now that's it. Ron Capps for life.
Yeah,
I wonder what he listens to.
Big heavy metal fan.
Yeah, but are we
scrolling
talking
through-
Tool and Sepultura or Metallica?
I wouldn't be surprised if you have a look into, because sometimes he'll post that I had these guests join me at the track and all this, and then he'll tag them, and then you see the music, and then he's posted some footage of him at concerts and stuff as well. And yeah, I wouldn't have expected it, but
He looks so clean cut.
He does, doesn't he?
did you? So I
This is a Toyota.
But have you seen the singer of
Metallica.
No, not Metallica. He's a pilot as well.
Well, what do you think of that? With Friday being Halloween, Friday night qualifying in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is huge for Halloween. There was actually a lot of people dressed up in costumes at the drags. I saw an awesome Gene Simmons, full Gene Simmons, face paint, leather, studs. I don't know how he got through security with all those studs on him. But Ron Capps was dressed up as Lord Farquaad from Shrek. And that jawline just sells that character costume straight away. But it's pretty cool, them all getting into it.
Iron Maiden.
Oh, Iron Maiden. Yeah, right.
Bruce Dickinson. He's got long hair now, but for the best part of his career, and he was, I believe he was a classically trained opera singer, and he's the most clean-cut guy. He's the front man for Iron Maiden.
Yeah, right.
And he's also a commercial pilot. He's 747 pilot.
Diverse interests. So we already covered a little bit of NASCAR in our news, but Nick, will you give us the full road?
I'll keep it quick. We've gone well over 2 hours here, so I'll keep it nice and short. But yeah, look, I just wanted to give you some thoughts on the Xfinity Championship at the very least. So Jesse Love won the Xfinity Championship. He won 2 races this year. And
this is the countdown.
The guy that came second in the championship won 10 races. So Connor Zilic won 10 races. Austin Hill won 4 races. Eric Almirola won 3.
Hang on.
Justin Allgaier won 3. But the guy that wins the championship only won 2.
Okay. So the guy that won the championship, how many DNFs did he have?
I don't know.
Do you don't think that's important?
Yeah, no, but he
because he would have got knocked out. Am I following that right?
I'm just saying
he got to the final 4.
He at least finished. Yeah. He at least
but I still this championship. This is flawed. This is massively flawed.
Not the countdown.
When the guy that won 10 races comes second in the championship to the guy that won 2.
How many DNFs did the guy that came second have?
Connor, I don't think he had. He didn't race one race because he broke his ankle when he fell out of the car. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, that was horrible.
Yeah.
It got caught on the net, didn't it? Oh my gosh,
That's
that
Connor.
was just.
So that's him. Anyway, it wasn't so evident in the Cup Series, but even Denny Hamlin, won 6 races this year. Shane Van Gisbergen won 5. Yet Kyle Larson only won 3. He wins the championship. However, I will go on to say I think Kyle was a more out of the top 4 was probably. I'm not as upset. I felt like his championship win was there, but it comes down. The whole thing is manufactured. The championship is manufactured. It comes down to the last few laps. Like, Denny Hamlin got blocked out by...
Every race comes down to the last lap.
But it shouldn't determine a championship. When Denny, who won 6 races, and Kyle Herney won 3, like, Denny got blocked out by a couple of Fords and just didn't have the right track position on the final restart. And that was it. Loses a championship for it.
Are you working for supercars as well?
No,
It was Ford's fault.
I'm just not. I'm not a big fan of it. Anyway, anyway.
Well, your mates over at Supercars are going to this.
I know, yeah,
system.
and I said at the time.
And NASCAR call it something different again. Can you remind me that it's not the countdown, it's the
Playoffs.
The
That's right.
playoffs because of Joe
NHRA.
Gibb.
Yeah,
Because Joe Gibb was a baseball coach, NFL coach. Sorry,
Yeah, very
it was a ball involved.
And there's the
Only one.
basketball. They're involved in it now too, aren't they?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes,
so,
he's
yeah.
part owner in team
Michael Jordan,
Bubba
23.
Yeah,
Wallace.
so they've all
Yeah.
got votes on the term playoff.
They all do. Yes, they do.
And this week we
And
heard
NASCAR is abandoning this system. Is that correct?
NASCAR will be moving in Xfinity. They are definitely moving away from that championship series. That way of doing it. It'll be changed next year. I just wanted to talk also. The federal judge this week dismissed NASCAR's counterclaim against 23 X1 Racing, which is co-owned by Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin and Front Row Motorsports. The case that 23 X1 and F Front Row Motorsports claim that NASCAR's charter system is anti-competitive and violates antitrust laws by unfairly...
Charter system? What charter system? When did they get a charter system?
They've had a charter system for a long time.
What, really?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
these are franchises?
Yeah. They've had it for at least 5 or 6 years.
I can't tell whether you're being sarcastic or not.
No, I'm not, because, look, the whole premise of NASCAR and why for a long time I felt, wow, they've got that, right, is that you could just put a car together, show up, qualify and race. Whereas with V8 supercars, you need to own a franchise and you need to be a multi
They
millionaire.
don't just sell to you if you've got the money.
No,
They will choose who they...
Yeah, but there's only so many franchises, you know what I mean? And there are penalties if you don't show up for the race. You know what I mean? You need to be very, very, very rich to be able to enter that. Whereas when we were kids and we were like massive fans of it, it was relatable. Like for me, the Lusty brothers from Lusty Allison, which was a motor vehicle bodybuilding company. So, you know, I was involved with Boomerang Engineering and my family was involved in it. So myself and my cousins, we would watch and you know, see the Lusty brothers and go, oh, that could be like us one day, you know, where they put this Tirana together and go out there and you know, they would do 2 races. They would do, what was the race before Bathurst? Sandown. They would do Sandown and then they would do Bathurst. And then they went to the franchise system and it's like, wait a minute, you know. I had no idea that NASCAR had...
It's been about 5 or 6 years now that they've been doing that. So the counterclaim, NASCAR had issued a counterclaim against them, but that has been dismissed this week by a federal judge. So their case commences in December 2025, and it'll be interesting to see how that pans out.
Wow, that's huge. This will be the end of NASCAR.
Look, I think...
I'll tell you.
You spoke about this
I've
while
spoken
ago,
about
though.
it. Yeah,
I
it's been
remember we were
ongoing.
recording once in studio at the Hen House when we were speaking about this. So that's been quite a while.
When I say the end, I don't mean that, that's it, NASCAR's finished.
But it's going to disrupt it a lot.
No, what it'll do is that if you've got it, this is kind of what happened with IndyCar, right? Where, you know, everyone was getting frustrated, or a group of people were getting frustrated, and they went, bugger it, let's start our own series. And they went off. Now, the France family have had total control over this since the beginning.
Since day one,
Since day dot. So since the beach race at Daytona. That's, you know, since the days of the moonshine guys, of Bill France being at the bar and saying, who's got the quickest, or who's got the fastest... moonshine car here, you know, who's the fastest moonshine runner, because that's how it started. So there is the opportunity now for another series, if they win this case, to start up. And it's really going to come down to how they treated the sponsors, which teams are not happy, which teams feel as though they're not. I mean, because, ultimately, Gibbs had an awesome run. Penske's had an awesome run.
Penske's had a very good run.
The car, Hendrick has had an awesome run.
Well, Kyle Larson's a Hendrick car.
Yep.
But there are teams that have come and gone over the years where they have been fast, they have won races, but they haven't been able to pull that big money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, this is very interesting. I didn't realise that they were a franchise.
Yeah, yep.
So how did they decide who got the franchises back then?
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know.
You'll be doing a deep dive into getting all your facts on this one now, Simon.
Oh, not really. Like, I saw
you
the
can see
V8
how.
supercars happen, and you had the designing of it was the EAEB and the VNVP, and it's evolved to what it is now, which is more or less, RC cars, really. That's, you know what I mean? Clip-on
Could
body,
see
you got
that
the
coming.
two pins to hold the body on. You know what I mean? It's like, I still fantasize about the day, and that's why I watch the Bathurst 12-hour, right? Because although you've got those really expensive exotic cars in there are a lot of cars that you can go
But their production.
yeah, you can just go and buy them,
Yeah.
And I'd like to hope that we can have a series one day where we don't have prototypes.
Yep.
Where it's got to be a car that you can buy, possibly even where they say no, if it's over this amount, you can't run it.
Isn't it funny? But NASCAR was allowed to compete in the 24 hours, Le Mans 24 hours, as a prototype.
Oh, I'm sure that they'll be allowed to run in Formula One at some stage or another. Now the Americans own it. The Formula One, the way it's going, I mean, their numbers are up. Their numbers are way up, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't market like the English are very, stiff upper lip and carry on, that type of attitude, whereas the Yanks are like out there.
Collared shirts. Collared shirts down to the knees.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, they're making a lot of money now. It's paid off for them. It was a big gamble for those guys to buy it.
But, yeah, they've made their money 20 times over.
Oh, absolutely. And all the people in Formula One must be happy with, it would hurt a little bit being someone like Christian Horner and those Americans, they're so unsophisticated.
I think Christian Horner might be wanting to make some friends with some Americans. He's still looking for a team, right?
Wow. Isn't he going to Ferrari? Is it official yet?
It's unlikely.
Unlikely?
Yeah.
Just more pit rumours.
Yeah.
What about Cadillac?
Well, this is the thing. He might not have a problem with the Americans after all.
I don't know. Anyway, nonetheless, they have made a lot of money out of it.
Oh, yeah.
They absolutely.
They've made their money 10 times
but
over.
what comes with that is then you start to get this ridiculousness happening. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're going to race NASCARs with the Formula One cars.
Well, you got this ridiculous is the Vegas race coming up. It's in the middle of the night over there. I still don't get that one. I don't get that one at all.
You know what was funny? On the way here, I was listening to a podcast, and where the finish line is, right? There's a comedy show on at that hotel where the finish line is on the night, right?
Oh.
And the guy, the producer, like the guy who does your job, he was complaining that if he had booked the tickets 3-4 weeks ago when they had booked the show, the rooms were $141 a night.
Oh my gosh!
Right, and now the rooms are $211, and he was whinging about it.
Oh, that's much cheaper than I thought you were going to say.
The guy, Sam Tripoli, right? That's the comedian. He said, "Yeah, man. After the show, you can just walk outside in the foyer and watch the Formula One cars go by."
But it's the middle of the night. It's like late. It's really late their time. I don't get it.
But it's Vegas, and if you go outside in Vegas before midday,
Yeah.
you're going to be.
Yeah.
You're going to be.
Yeah.
It's dead.
I think Vegas, they
it's
turn the lights on at midnight.
It's actually not daytime. They've got their own time zone there
Like
where
Truman Show. They're in a big drone.
they've actually just got a dark daytime.
Fair enough.
And then their
I
sleep
don't think you want to
time
see
is like
Vegas during the daytime anyway.
I've been once.
Probably
Didn't
it
excite me
looks
that
its
much.
best in the dark with all the lights and stuff, right? And it's because of the lights. The lights, you can't see neons during the day. It wasn't anything
You
about.
notice all the buildings are faded during the day.
And all the people passed out on the streets and stuff. No. Well, the Kalgoorlie Desert Race.
Just a quick shout out here. Travis Robinson on winning the Kalgoorlie Desert Race. And a big shout out to Chris Dawes and his brother Brent on coming third in Extreme 4x4 at the same race. Work with Chris, good guy.
Well done. Congratulations. Well, just in closing, we will bring this one to an end, but before we finish, here is what is coming up. We have, as mentioned, the Nitro Nationals Top Fuel and Nitro Funny Car Grand Final with the Aeroflow All-Stars Sportsmen competing on Saturday, November 8th at Sydney Dragway.
Then we've got Toyotas in the Park on Sunday the 9th of November at Sir James Mitchell Park in South Perth.
Kings of the Wings, Saturday, November 15th, Perth Motorplex.
WA Speed Event Series round 12 and 13 on Saturday, November 22nd at Collie Motorplex.
Then we've got the ACC Cars in the Valley, Sunday the November 23 at Nicola Estate.
Hardwired Harley Hootenanny Saturday. Hootenanny Saturday, November 29th at the Perth Motorplex. What is that?
It is a big, it's a big bike show with freestyle motocross and the Harley Davidson stunt competition.
Okay. Where do they do the motocross?
I am not entirely sure. This
Been
is
the
the
Speedway
third
track, I'd say.
year.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I think this is the third year that the event is running, but they have food vendors come down and market stalls as well throughout the pits and everything. So not just entertainment on the track, but plenty happening in the pits as well, really family orientated and targeted too. I'll have more to speak on about that next
Michelle,
episode.
Nick and I wish you and Trent all the best for the race.
Yeah.
We know you're going to bring home the gold.
Thank you. I'm feeling really good. Feeling really good.
As long as you feel good, that's the important thing.
Look, I've got a fantastic car. Races that are over there at the moment.
You've got a
they've still
fantastic crew too.
I've got a fantastic
Very
crew.
good crew. You got WA behind you as well.
I do really wish that my nephew Ethan could be joining us. He is my third crew member, which unfortunately isn't coming along for this weekend either. But you know, the car's running its best, and I'm feeling really confident with Trent and Trevor beside me. And thank you for all your support. And I'm really excited to come back, and hopefully with a big rocket trophy for show and tell.
Look forward to it.
Yeah,
Well,
so do I. Great episode.
Thanks, guys.
Best
We'll see you
ever.
again.
Best ever.
Best
Best-
ever?
Look at that. 2 hours 18.
Longest ever. No. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks.
See ya.
See ya.